parties, and which is simply extraordinary and incredible that their word is their bond, and that's how they hold themselves. And I mean, what better kind of negotiation when you can actually see that, when you actually can see that. Because I'm used to like the court and the states, and it's all bullshit. I mean, it's all without integrity, and you have to like really stay within the lines of that. This is like, even though we're saying these, but we're making a big effort so that we can have this happen. And it's 100% their guarantee. Like their word is their word.
So how do you feel comfortable with the language that's contained in the contract that there is sufficient language that you're happy with?
I think that there is, I mean, like we said, in some of those points, the verbiage is not quite, they could say it a different way or say, add to it. But what Adriana is saying is we have this agreement that we're signing today. But the agreement is actually much bigger because of our word is our word. And we can figure out what needs to happen in communication.
And you're comfortable with that?
And I am comfortable with that. It's how they do things here. I'm not used to it. So that's why, because I was looking at it through my experience, my view of experience in the court system in the States.
I just want to make sure that you're comfortable with everything, with the document, with the agreements, and that you feel complete with that. That there are no further questions in your mind that you feel you need answered. Because if you can say yes to that, because you should not leave here if you're not 100% complete with what you feel you need. That's just like, I want to make sure that you're happy. And I want to make sure that you feel comfortable and that you feel secure in knowledge that if need be, you are going to be able to continue negotiations if necessary, and that there aren't going to be any problems, because I don't want to see you lose sleep.
A lot of money.
Yes.
For nothing.
Yeah.
I know, that's $50,000.
Now, I am impressed that, that first written agreement, there was nothing in there that said that they had to apply that $5,000 you gave them.
And that's what I know. And that's one thing that I'm impressed, because I thought I would lose that.
And that was for you.
And that's why I thought I'm going to lose the 42 on top of this.
The bottom line, girlfriend, is that without having an additional clause in there stating specifically that if you were to give them 30 days notice that you were not going to have the remaining funds and that you need to be granted an extension, that by the notice in writing will prevent them from selling the property and allow for additional negotiations for
You think we
more
should have
time.
that in there?
That's up to you, because this is your.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know,
No,
but
let's go through that.
if you feel comfortable not having that in there, and you feel comfortable with their agreement and how they do business, with how things have gone so far, then that's up to you. I mean, like I say, I am impressed that.
I get that, and I think that is a wise, a good thing to put in there, because it will, it guarantees.
Or at least at a minimum, as an additional clause, that should the deadline pass and you don't have the additional money and they don't want to continue negotiations, so at least you get that money back.
And they don't want to continue negotiations.
Right.
Okay, I like that. We're gonna.
And I'm going to use the line.
Okay, hold on. So did everyone get that? We're gonna put we're gonna see about putting a clause in the contract that that I'm signing, that prevents them from taking off with the money that I put in, and
the money's.
hold on. What they're signing is they're not allowed to. What they're signing is that deadline. Like, they aren't going to have negotiations with anyone until that deadline is.
Correct. According to the contract as it's written, that they cannot conduct any negotiations
Until
to sell that property until that deadline comes.
So that's in there already.
Yes.
So we don't need to have them put that in
Correct.
there. But we need to have something put in where
the bottom line is, like they said, the original deadline came and passed. They could have kept the money and said, "Oh, I'm going to sell it to someone else." They didn't. They agreed to grant an extension. But that agreement is based on you giving them additional money, showing them that the intent, you have a pure intent of actually purchasing the property, which is security for them, and it's also security for you. They're not selling it, they have some money vested into it. So, again, it's up to you to decide if you're comfortable with how the contract's written, that you can continue negotiations without another clause being in there, then you can accept the agreement as is, or you can either request that an additional clause be put in there. So it's up to you.
Okay. I would like the additional clause.
Okay.
And I would like you to at least have that written out, how it should sound or should be. Can you do that?
Yeah, just explain to them.
Because they're not understanding. I think they need to see it in writing.
Okay. Then just explain to them that you're asking that for you, write out.
No, just write it on paper and then they can change it and you can talk about it. Like, it's not necessarily. Yeah.
That's fine, but you need to explain to them what's going on.
Okay, maybe we should figure out what it is, like how it should sound, or how it should be.
You can go a couple different ways in your recording, by the way.
You know, it's annoying. Oh my gosh, I popped it. Okay. Edit.
So you can go a couple different ways with this.
Mm-hmm.
First way is that given prior written notice that they will agree to extend the deadline or to be granted an extension on the deadline while negotiating the addendum, the contract. Okay?
Okay, you say that.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to be able to say it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, go ahead and go. Actually, I have to go to the loo too. All right.
You?